Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiki LaFleur. I'm going straight in with my Clinique Even Better foundation. I love this stuff. I had backup upon backups. Then I'm adding a few luster drops from Handheld. I love doing this. It gives me such a nice dewy look. I'm really into my skin looking a bit more glossy and just youthful compared to powdered down, especially in the summertime. And I love this foundation because it warms me up nicely. It really complements my undertone, which is a little bit golden. It's neutral, but on the golden side. That's why I have backups, you guys. But I'm using my beauty blender to blend that in. I'm going in with the Fibre medium concealer, and when I tell you I love this stuff, I love this stuff. It doesn't crease at all. It lives up to its name. What I just showed you was my contour cream kit, and I'm going in with the highlight to just really, I love using my pencil brush to do this. I really feel I have more control without adding too much pigment. Now I'm going in with the medium shade for my contours, and I'm just really making sure to add a light amount. That's the one thing about using the brushes. I felt like, again, I have way more control. I can just really put all the product where I need to, and I'm really into the cream contours right now. It allows me to go as light as I want to. Using liquid, sometimes I can be heavy-handed, and yeah, I go overboard. I definitely feel like with the cream, you know, my heavy hands doesn't phase it. So right now I'm going in with the beauty blender to just work in all the highlights first. I love having separate sponges for each contour color that I'm doing, and you'll understand a bit more once you watch me a little bit longer and learn my techniques. But it just helps the blending process to be more seamless. So once I really go through, I don't even care if it's in between the contour, I am using it very, very strategically. So now I'm using the red for the darker shade of the contour, and I am just working that in, blending it all out. And I use the point for what it's for, okay? Those very detailed areas where I have way more control, and I'm just allowing, I'm not using the sponge all around in too much area. I really want the color to concentrate on one part of the sponge, and that's specifically for a reason of control in the future when it comes to blending it out. So I just use my eyeshadow primer from 𝗬𝗎 collection, which I love because it doesn't crease, it goes on transparent, which I love the most. I think that's why I go back to it over and over again. But you got to be quick with the blending because it does dry fast, and don't put too much because it will start to cake up and pile on itself, and that doesn't look good. You can see it through the makeup, so a little goes a long way. I'm using one of my eyebrow pencils that I got off of Amazon, and I love this because it came in, I got 3, but it was 3 of each of them was 5 each, but it's the one that you take the blade and you sharpen it with the pencil. And the first color I used was the lightest brown. I don't sharpen it anymore unless it's, nubbed. The black one, I keep the sharpest. Why? Because I use this last. I use the light, medium, and dark colors, and I go in that exact order in order to define my brows and give it way more 3D definition. I'm going in with this. This is M.A.C colors. I just melted them in a pot, and it's so pretty, but it's cream, and I love using creams when it comes to a lot of the makeup looks that I do. It allows me to blend in the look, remove some if you need to. It's a little bit more gentle when it comes to being error proof in that way. You can make mistakes and wipe it off, and it's okay. So I go in and I outline exactly what I want it to do, and I would just blend that out. And then I would go and put some powder on it if I want to set it or even deepen it. But most time I do. I would go and put some powder. And if I don't put eyeshadow, I would put a setting powder or something most of the time. So I'm going in with this NARS palette if I can find the color I'm using. It's hard doing it this way, you guys. But I'm putting that on the above the crease and just using that as my blending color and just making it a bit more seamless, which is super important to do. So next I'm going in with these two colors. I'm mixing them here. I really wanted to deepen the crease a bit more and just really, this is a day look, so I can't go crazy, which is why I like to mix it with the two colors, because I definitely want some depth there. You know, I don't want it to be boring, but I also don't want to be too dark where I'm outside looking crazy, okay? I'm going back in with that lighter color and I'm placing that on the bottom, just blending that in. I really love this technique of just matching the shadow on the lid with the bottom lid. It just allows everything to kind of look more purposeful. So now I'm going in with this pretty green. I love green shadows on me. This is more of a glitter pigment, but it's so freaking pretty. I don't know, I get a lot of compliments, or like, I don't know, I feel the prettiest every time I do something green. It doesn't matter if it's like a neon green. It's always subtle. If it's a neon green, it's going to be subtle, but yeah, it's still so pretty. But I really go to more of these, how do I say it, fatigue type of greenish colors, like army colors, like that level of shades and depth to it. And I'm making sure to just blend that into the lid itself. I didn't want it in a crease as much, so I'm definitely blending out the outer edges, just not so much. I'm making sure to put some on the lower lash line as well and blend that out. Blend. As I forgot who that YouTuber used to say that, but that was his favorite thing. Blend. So now I'm going in with a generic brown pencil from the beauty supply store, and I'm using this Q-tip trick, so I don't have to put any oils or really like put a fingerprint, because you can put a fingerprint when you're doing this with your finger into your concealer. And I just felt like I needed a bit more concealer, so I'm just applying just a little bit more to brighten up that underneath area, especially because sometimes I feel like I can blend the shadow down a little bit more to my liking. So I use this as a trick to actually fix that. And I'm gonna go really underneath the eye and just kind of like blend that out. And I love doing that. And again, I'm using the same beauty blender that I used before, which I used to highlight on. And it's important to kind of like keep them separated, because then when you need to adjust something later on, you have the colors aren't contaminated with other shades. And I love just doing that. So this is my mascara, and I don't know, I'm looking at it too. That's why I'm not talking, because I'm like, oh, what is she doing? But I'm pretty much, I like to look down in the mirror. That's one. And I like to place the glue on to where I want the lashes to go instead of the other way around. I struggled for a long time with strip lashes, but I've learned this trick from Pixiwoo. I swear, I used to watch them a lot. And they would, you know, say look down. It's the easiest when it comes to applying your glue, applying your lashes. But they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't apply the glue onto their lid. They would just look down applying the lashes. But for me, that was cool. And but it's just easier for me to do it this way. And what I would do next is take my mascara. This is from Cross Culture, and I can't say that 3 times. And I like to quickly, I move fast, by the way, so if you're slow, do one eye at a time. I like to put my mascara, the glue on, then the mascara, so that it just blends in, the lashes blend into my real lashes seamlessly. But again, I move quick. And if you're not, like, once you get better at it, you'll move fast and you'll be able to do both eyes. But fair warning, okay, because the glue will dry. And even though it will dry tacky and it still would stick, you want it at that sweet spot where it's still a little bit more tacky compared to more dry. That way it will last longer. So sometimes I take my comb and I like to like really separate my lashes, especially if it gets a little clunky and clunky, because I like my lashes to look really dainty. Like these lashes, you can't even really see them. Like, that's how I love it. I love my lashes to look like they're just extra thick and long, you know, but natural. But this is what I mean. Like, it takes me 2 seconds to do my freaking lashes. I'm looking down. I'm placing it in the center. I do the outer corner or the inner corner first, either or. And then I would comb it up a little bit just to make sure my lashes are blending in, and then I will be done. That's it. That's all I do. If I need more glue at the end, because sometimes at the outer corners I don't put enough glue, that would be the only thing I would have to go back and do. But it's too easy. It's too easy doing it like this. Looking down in the mirror, like, mainly because for me, my lashes curl up. So looking down allows me to apply the false lashes beyond the curl of my real lashes. Sorry, beyond the curl of my real lashes. And I'm able to actually see properly, compared to looking up and trying to put a lash behind the curl. Looking up is way more difficult. So if you've been having problems and trouble putting on your lashes, I get excited and that's on a bit faster. Try this way. Look down in the mirror and see if it changes your life. And if it does, comment back and let me know, because I know I can't be the only one. Like, it changed my life. Okay, I used to be annoyed with strip lashes, but now I freaking love it. I was feeling myself. For real. All right, so now I'm going in with my lip. I like to actually put a little bit more of that brown contour on my lip. I normally do it while I'm doing the rest of the contour, but I forgot. And when I forget, I'll go back and put it. So, because look, my lip just looks so much more plumper. Okay? And I like to blend it out, because don't leave no harsh lines on your lips or anywhere on your face, y'all. Like, that's how you make it seamless, by blending, trusting the process. So I'm going in with my 𝗙𝗍𝗂𝗀𝗋 powder. I'm also going in with my blush. So I showed you the powder for a reason, because I ain't going to show it later. But I'm going in with this blush quad that I freaking love. I swear I'm going to buy it back up, because I'm going to go through it. I use every single color. And I know it looks pigment and scary. And this is what I mean. Like, if that was freaking liquid, I would be heavier in my hand, okay? Like, but this was heavy-handed. Nonetheless, I'm going to show you how I fix this. Like, I don't even worry. I don't get scared. I don't get scared anymore with makeup. Like, if you understand how to adjust, how to break certain rules, how to fix things when they're broken, like, you're no longer scared. You're pretty much confident on fixing it. So there is definitely more on there than I should be, but I love this brush that I'm using specifically because it's dense and it's prickly, and allows me, not prickly to my skin, but it's like, you know, it's airbrush. It has an airbrush style, so that when you're applying anything with it, it allows it to stipple onto your face and really gives it a nice airbrush finish. I freaking love that. So I'm going in with my beauty blender that I use for my highlight, and I use this as a way to correct anytime I put on blush. So now I'm blending in my highlight with the blush, and I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom as well, just to remove any harsh lines. But it softens up the edges is what it does specifically. That was my goal, because when you leave it harsh, it just looks crazy, but it still can be pigmented on my face. But when the edges are softened, it isn't as wild looking, as you can see now. So I'm going in with that powder, and I'm going to set underneath the under eye. I love this combination with the Fibre and this 𝗙𝗍𝗀𝗋. Like, my stuff doesn't move, okay? Like, I don't crease underneath my eye, hardly. Oh my god, like, whew, hardly is an understatement. Not really, okay? I love it. So I'm going in, that was my Anastasia's contour powder kit. And I love the orange in that. It's not a blush, it's more like it's a brightener for the skin when you're doing a highlight and a contour. It's like that nice, beautiful mid-tone to warm you up. But I love using this on top of my blushes, especially if I use an orange, because I can't find my orange blush right now. Like, I used to have so much. So I'm using this, and It does the job. I will also go all over my face just to like warm it up. This is my Fenty's cashew powder. I love this for setting the rest of my face. You hear me? Like, this is the one thing that I would use to set the rest of my face, and I used to get so much compliments. So now I'm spot treating because there is still powder that I want to set in other areas, so I don't want to put this all over my face just yet. I just really wanted to kind of set the rest of the highlight so that I didn't put the 𝗙𝗍𝗀𝗀 one everywhere else. And now I'm going to, alright, so I'm still putting that powder all over my face. Like, okay, I knew I was going in with a darker color. So this is a darker shade from the Anastasia palette, and I'm going in for the contours, and I'm going to set that with the contour colors and deepen up those areas. I really love doing this. It helps my face to look 3D. I used to be so upset when doing my makeup and literally doing all this highlight and contour and then putting one setting powder on my face that might be too bright, and it would dull the hell out of my blush, dull the hell out of my dark contour. And I was like, the hell with that. It may be more work, but yeah, I would go in and do way more steps to give me the look that I need, and this is what I do. So right now I'm using my Fenty contour, and you would think I would use this all over my face, but I love this for contouring my nose. It doesn't have an orange undertone. It really has a nice warm undertone without being too dark, too light. It's just perfect. So I use it for my nose because I'm able to camouflage the contour of my nose way more and so much easier. And I don't want it to run out by using it all over my face, so I only use this for my nose, period. And I like to add it onto the lip and like darken that contour that I put there too sometimes. So I'm going in with Cab. This is for my lips. I love using this throughout the day. That's why the bottle is almost empty, and I will press it in because it just feels so freaking good. It feels gooey but not too sticky, but thick enough you feel like your lips are being hugged. That's the best way I can describe it. That's why I like to go in and really just, look at me. I am moisturizing that lip because my lips always feel so freaking delicious, moisturized, moist, soft. Like, again, you saw that bottle. It's almost empty. So now I'm going in with generic lip pencil from the beauty supply store, and I just love this color. I have my peoples get me two because they the one introduced me to it, so I was like, oh, I love this, get me some more. So I think this is my backup, but I have the other one somewhere. Like, I didn't even finish it, but look at that shade. It's just perfect. Like, it matches the contour that I put on so well. That's why I love it, because it just gives me that nice deeper shade that I want my lips to have, especially when I'm doing a nude lip. When you're doing a nude lip, you don't want it to be too dark of a brown pencil or red. You really want the nude to stand out, and you just want a nice shadow. This is that shadow. So I'm going in with my MAC. This is a pretty light pink it's more like a bubblegum pink without too much blue, if that makes sense. More blue will look ashy on me, so it has a bit more of a warm tone to it. And I love doing this for my nude lip, but just like, this lipstick itself can go with a darker lip color, but I love this type of nude. Like, this is my favorite type of nude to do. But with that pink, you kind of get away with it. If it was more on a nudish side, no. So this is my Anastasia highlight. Look, do you see that shine? Do you see that shine? And I barely use it. Like, you don't even need to do much. A little bit goes a long way. So I'm going in with Big Look mascara. I love to put this on the bottom of my lashes after I'm done with my powder. And it just, like, one, it helps to remove any powder off your lashes. But two, it helps you avoid getting powder in your lashes when you do it. Your mascara, like, lasts mostly. So I'm just going in and just really darkening. And I love doing this because it makes my eyes pop out more. Like, my almond shapes just, I don't know, like, and I have on lashes. So again, I like to do this to kind of like remove any extra dust that may fall on it, but really deepen it and really have it blend into my natural lashes. I love it. This look is fun, it's easy, it's simple, and you don't have to do much. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching, because I think this came out so freaking pretty. I love looking glam in the day, but you gotta be careful, you know, like don't do too much. Other than that, please like, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, beauties.